Hey guys, Nikki here, back with another hotel review. It's number 2 of this 4-part series in Korea. So the next hotel I'll be reviewing is Grand Ambassador Seoul. This hotel was great. The rooms were spacious, the staff was extremely nice, it was awesome. I actually didn't realize it was supposed to be a 5-star hotel until after I checked in, so that was actually pretty cool considering I got it for like a pretty decent price. This hotel was located in Seoul, which was great. It was a new change from Incheon. According to the website, they say that it's located near Chungmuro Station and Dongguk University. In my personal opinion, I would kind of write off Chungmuro just because I tried walking to the hotel from Chungmuro and I felt like it was a bit of a burden. So it's just a longer walk than if you were to go to Dongguk University. With that said, Dongguk University is a closer station, but you do need to trek up a hill and then back down the hill again in order to actually get to the hotel. So both stations aren't exactly ideal, but if I did have to pick one or the other in terms of proximity, I'd say Dongguk University is probably the better station to go to. But then for Chungmuro, I think that's probably the better option if you have a bit more luggage, I guess. I'm a bit of a light traveler, so I was okay with lugging my tiny bags up the hill and down the hill again. But when I had to head back to the station after checking out of the hotel in the pouring rain, that was a huge issue going up and then down that hill again. So it's kind of, yes, it's in between both those stations, but you kind of have to pick your battles and kind of figure out what are you carrying and then how far are you willing to walk. So just keep that in mind if you are choosing to book this hotel in terms of the location. Otherwise, the location is great just because it is so close to Myeongdong, which is where all the shopping happens. Even if you want to go to Dongdaemun, which also, once again, more shopping. So it's kind of like if you're really into shopping, that'd be a great place to go. And you are well connected with those 2 subway stations in terms of to get around Seoul. So that's really good location-wise. I loved it. Now it's time to consult the checklist to see if the amenities matches kind of what I found based on their website. So this one says that you have internet access. That is true. You have a connectivity lounge. I have no idea if that was actually a thing. I wasn't aware of it. Don't know. Fitness lounge, also was not aware of that. Access to the pool. I did know that was a thing, but like I said, I'm not a pool person. I always pack bathing suits, but I never actually go to the pool. I probably should have done that. So yeah, I'm sure you do have access to the pool. Actually, yes, because the concierge did tell me that. So yeah, I know that's true. Complimentary mineral water in the room. That is true. There's 2 bottles of water. I think if you exceed that amount of water though, like if you have to get more, then they will charge you for those. There's like a little sign placard thing that tells you that in the minibar. This hotel also apparently has a couple of restaurants. I think it's either 4 or 6. I don't use the restaurants because I did see one of the placards that they had on the table and it mentioned how you can get a deal for a nice meal. Now tell me why they want to charge, I think it was 35,000 won for bibimbap when I can go down the street and get bibimbap that's just as good for, you know, way cheaper. So I felt like the restaurant was an absolute ripoff. Mind you, it is apparently a 5-star hotel, so it's going to be clientele that's actually willing to pay for, you know, a 5-star meal. So that's just not my personal preference. It makes no sense to me financially. So, I mean, if you choose to do that, great. I'm sure it was a lovely meal, but I don't think it's worth it. I stayed at this hotel for 2 nights. This was day 3 and day 4 in Korea. And the room that I stayed in, once again, not too sure about the floor. I don't know why it's escaping me now because I literally just got back. I want to say this was the 8th floor. That number sticks out to me, and I remember, you know, when you push certain elevator buttons and it kind of like becomes your muscle memory, I feel like the 8th floor was the one that I was, yes, it was the 8th floor. Yeah. So and the room, once again, I stayed in, just like the other hotel, was right diagonally from the elevator. So if you aren't into loud elevator noises and a lot of like foot traffic, that's probably not a great room to stay in. For me, I am a light sleeper, so that's a bit of an issue, but I'm the kind of person where I don't really like to ask for a new room unless I'm absolutely miserable in the current one. So I figured since I did have so much stuff to do while I was in Seoul, I was kind of okay with the noises just because I wasn't going to be in my room that much. The staff checking in was absolutely amazing. Super, super friendly, very fluent in English. They were just fantastic. Like, I have honestly nothing else to say except all the staff was great. From the minute you walk into the hotel, I feel personally that whenever I kind of am greeted, it's in a very like, oh, are you just here looking for the washroom or are you actually a guest here? But for that hotel, it was amazing. They actually have welcomers. And they're lovely. It was absolutely great. They'll take your baggage from you, and then when you go to check in at the counters, they'll personally bring your bag up to you before you head up to your room. So that was amazing. Like, the staff is impeccable. Their manners are just top notch. Like, that is what I look for when I do check into any hotel, regardless of what country it is. It was awesome. Another good thing they had was snacks in the lobby. If you just kind of walk toward the elevators, there's like this table with like croissants and I don't know, breadsticks and fancy cheese and stuff. Now that's something that I actually don't like to eat. I'm not like really big on those kind of carbs. Like, I need to watch my figure, yeah. So it's not something that's really great at all for me, but I think that was really good that they had that touch. It's something that I actually I think I've only seen that in like one other hotel in like all the time I've been traveling. So that was really good to see, and it's kind of a nice touch. It's different, so I thought that was great. And especially if you're kind of feeling a bit peckish, but you might have other plans for dinner or you just kind of don't want to eat a big meal, it was great that you kind of had that option. Another good thing, like I said before, is a location. It is located near a bunch of tourist attractions, and where my room was situated, I was actually right near Namsan Tower, which was awesome. I didn't get to go to the tower, but if I did want to go, it would have been very easy to access. And so I think the location, they picked a really good spot. Yes, you are near university, so I'm not sure how that might fare in terms of loudness, especially when the kids are back in school. But because it was end of April, I mean, I guess I got lucky, and maybe the kids in that area aren't really that loud to begin with. I'm not too sure. But the location for me was absolutely great. And it's kind of good because where I was situated, you're not like in the hustle and bustle of the city. Granted, you are still in the city, don't get me wrong, but it's not as like go, go, go as Myeongdong or say like right by Seoul Station. I don't understand how the walls were so paper thin. This was actually the hotel out of all four that I stayed at where all you could hear was just noise all night. And once again, maybe I just had loud neighbors, but I'm pretty sure I could hear someone yelling from not the room beside me, but the one beside that. Like, that's just how loud they were talking. So the walls are just, they were so thin. I don't know if they actually, I'll check the website to see if they do mention anything about soundproof walls, but I could literally hear everything my neighbors were saying or whoever was talking outside of, my room. I could literally hear every single word they were saying. So I really did not appreciate how thin those walls were. Another thing that really, really bugged me, and I probably could have said something while I was there, was there was a very, very faint smoke smell, which is odd because I was under the impression that it was a no smoking hotel. So this is something that on my first night there, I kind of thought I smelt it, but I didn't think it was what I was smelling, just because, like I said, I was under the impression that it was a no smoking hotel or like a no smoking room or whatever. I don't know if they do have smoking areas. I don't know. I don't care. It's whatever. It's done now. But so the first night, I thought maybe it was my fault. Maybe I was just kind of like hallucinating, I guess. But then I really noticed it on the second night when you typically noticed it early in the morning for some reason. Not so much late at night. And I am like a night owl, so I kind of like, I just happened to just know that. For me, the biggest thing was whenever I take a shower and shut the door behind me, I'm essentially in the washroom, my own little, bubble. And then I'd come out of the washroom and I'd just be hit in the face with like the stench of cigarette smoke. So I'm not too sure if it's maybe seeping in from a vent, or there's someone that was smoking too close to the building, and maybe like it somehow got into like the air conditioning or it somehow got into the air system, or I don't know, but that's something I really noticed. And it's always this faint smell that would kind of blow in and out. And it's what I really noticed it was the second day that I stayed there, and then the day that I was checking out. That's when the smell like really started to get to me. So had I been staying there for a longer amount of time, I definitely would have said something to the hotel staff. But like I said, I don't like to be a burden when I'm traveling. And this is actually not the first time it's happened to me. I've had other hotels when I stayed in France where they had this also faint cigarette smell. So like I said, I don't know if it's like someone smoking too close to the building, or if there is a smoking area that is allowed in the hotel and it's just too close to my room. But that's something that just really bugged me. So I would hope that they kind of investigate that and see why that smell kind of lingers in their room. I am going to say yes, but I would strongly advise the hotel to look into that cigarette smell, because that was unbearable. And I don't know if other people have complained about it. Maybe my nose is just sensitive. But yeah, I probably would stay there again, just because the staff was so nice and the hotel was scarily like clean. It was very well kept. So yeah, I'd probably stay there again. And the beds were pretty cozy too. Definitely not the best bed that I had during my trip, but the beds were pretty good too. So I think I'd stay there again. As long as that cigarette smell was just a one-off thing and didn't happen again, then yeah, I'd definitely stay there again. All right, so that's the review of the second hotel in this 4-part series. I will be uploading the next one very soon. Thanks for watching.